What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be talking about something really interesting, and that is about setting up goals. And since we entered this new year, and Happy New Year to everyone, this is a topic that many people have asked me for, and that's something that I was been doing for about 2-3 years, and this is the third time when I'm practicing the 24 goals. And now the 24 goals is something that I set up for me about 3 years ago as some kind of a New Year resolution list that I have to complete before the new year begins, and complete everything in the brackets according to the specific goals that I want to plan for the new year. And with that said, I thought this new methodology could be useful to you guys and to anyone watching, so that's why I decided to do this video and try to show you how I plan my goals and also wishes, and I hope you find this useful. So with that said, let's begin. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about how to set up your goals for the new year, and also some wishes, how to make it smart in terms of being measurable and also achievable goals, but we'll talk about that in more details after we start with the actual goals. And to make it easier to follow, I'm going to be sharing my screen, and also I have uploaded a template of the goals list in the description below for you to use, so feel free to download and use it along the way. So in this case, if you go through the link that I have uploaded, you can click on the 2021 goals and wishes copy. Afterwards, you download it and you will see a list that I have compiled specifically for you to understand how exactly to plan your 24 goals. When I first started looking at planning my goals and wishes for the new year, I didn't have this 24 figure in mind, and I was just simply looking at the type of categories that we have for specific goals and trying to just write down everything that I feel that I want to achieve and accomplish in the new year. However, when practicing this 24 goals for 2 years, I realized that there are 6 categories that we're looking at, and that is business and professional. The second one is personal development, and then we go to relationships. We also look at health, spiritual, and also the last one, which is wealth. I then quickly realized that these are the 6 categories that we need to consider for a really good goal planning. And to make it more succinct and useful to you to use, I just compiled it into 24 goals, which means that you have 4 goals per category. Because believe me or not, when you start using this list, as I did about a year ago, you actually have a lot of goals and dreams to put down. And this is exactly when the 24 rule comes in, because you have only 4 goals per each category. However, there is one trick that I also used for this year. And this is using the mixed up categories. So basically you have 24 goals in total, and you cannot use more than that, and you also cannot use less than that. However, if you feel that you are stronger in one category, this year, for example, you are stronger in wealth and you have some financial independence, then you might look more into health, for example. And this is exactly where the trick comes in, because say if you this year are stronger in wealth, then you can use 3 points in wealth, or 3 goals in this case, and you can use the 1 extra for health. And then you will have 5 in total goals for the health section, and you will have 3 goals for the wealth section. So as long as you mix it up correctly, you're gonna be doing just fine. But remember not to use more than 24 goals. I know you might think that this is some kind of beginner thing, but I think this is useful to understand how to correctly synchronize your goals, how to make them as detailed and specific as possible, because if you use a lot of points, then you will have a lot of text and goals that might be not achievable. And if we go back and see the list that I have uploaded in the description, we can start by looking at specific sections. We see that we've completed this list at the last day of the year, and we are ready to kick off a very successful year ahead. And if we look at the specific sections, then we see that starting with business professional, we have the 4 goals. You can write something that you might look into achieving in your career, or maybe you have a business idea that you want to pursue and make it as specific as possible. The second one is going to be personal development, which looks at the ways you want to develop yourself, what new you want to learn in this year. Maybe you want to get some new skills or work on some traits that you've been having challenges with in the past, and so on. The third one is relationships, and this one looks at establishing better relationships or improving the ones that you have with your family or friends, or make up new ones. Moving on to health, we have this section that is very important to your personal habits in terms of health, or anything that you might have postponed in the past. So maybe you want to have some new checks. Basically, if you want to make it more specific and more achievable, you can write down anything from running a marathon or swimming. Moving forward to the next section, which is spiritual. This is the one where it doesn't have to do much with yourself or your friends and family. It's more about the world and everything that surrounds you. So for me, for example, in this section, I usually look at donations or helping people in need. For this year, for example, I have one goal that I can share with you guys, and that is donating 5% of my annual returns. And it's something probably hard to achieve because I've never looked at this in this way. However, I know that 5% is nothing from your income, and it usually is spent on things that you don't need. So why not make someone's life better and help the planet in these very hard, difficult times? Finally, you have the wealth section, where usually you should write down specifically what kind of goals in terms of wealth you have, maybe even how much you want to earn per month or per year if you're looking into the actual figures. I know it might sound a bit materialistic or too money oriented. However, this helps you realize the full potential that you have and secure your financial independence. Yet this could also mean that you can have a goal to set up, for example, a new stream of income or create a new business opportunity and make it profitable. So this all falls into the wealth section. And then after you have completed all your goals, you can move down and look into your wishes, which is something higher than your goals. Maybe it's not as measurable, but it's something that you have on your mind for a very long time and you just want to have it on your bucket list. Having some wishes written down, I personally think, helps you to dream big and also keep you motivated that you can achieve other things and dream a bit, be a child, and also have some interesting things that you might achieve, you might not, but you just want to have them written down, because why not keeping track of them? Otherwise, you will never achieve them, so better be written. And believe me or not, I have had in the past years written 8 wishes that I had, and 4 of them actually came true. For example, one was buying a car, which I never owned in my life because I was living in central London. So that's why it's important to have them written down, and hopefully they will come true. So after you have all your goals and wishes written down, you can go and check if they fall into the SMART criteria, adjust and correct your goals if needed. What does SMART goals exactly mean? If we go to Google and just Google what are SMART goals, then you will have the first link that explains you the criteria, and the template is going to work much better on these objectives. So by having a look at the SMART goals, you realize that you want to check if your goals are, first of all, clear and reachable, if they are specific, meaning that they are simple, sensible, significant, if they are measurable, meaning that they are motivating enough for you to be achieved, and if they are not too hard to be achieved, and that falls into the actually third criteria, which is achievable, and if they are actually attainable for you, if that's not something insane or making, for example, $1 billion next year. That's not a realistic goal, so don't write that down. And fourth, it's going to be relevant, meaning that they are realistic and they are results driven. And finally, the most important is the T, which means that they're time bound, so they could be measured by time and they're limited, having some time constraints. So if you write down that you want to have a chain of hotels, for example, in my case, it's not going to be something achievable in 1 year. Well, at least if you don't win the lottery, but if you want to make the goal smart and reasonable, make it also time bound. With that being said, today we covered the 24 rules that I have been using for 3 years now, and I find them very useful and very efficient to use for planning your next year and understanding where you stand and how you can reach out new levels. And with the template that I have left blank in the description, I hope you find it useful and you start filling it out. And hopefully this new year of 2021 brings you more positive memories and positive results than the last year. And with that said, wishing everyone a very successful year. Please don't forget to like the video if you did like the video. If you don't, please leave your comments below and give me more feedback so I can improve in the next one. And I hope you also leave a subscribe to keep the YouTube algorithm going. And see you next time.